Good morning to you. In today's episode, we will be talking about breathability. Breathability is one of the most important features that incontinence products should have. It is crucial for the health and condition of the skin. It is thanks to breathability that proper thermoregulation is maintained. When the skin sweats, the moisture is transferred to the outside of the product. But how do I know if a product is breathable or not? To answer this question, I invited Seni's expert, Piotr Krominski.
Hi Alina. Hello ladies and gentlemen. We were going to talk simply about Seni. Therefore, I would like to show you in a very simple way how you can check at home whether a product is vapor permeable, or as you popularly call it, breathable.
But wait, you said it would be in a simple way, and I see that you brought a whole laboratory with you. Where's the simplicity here?
Yes, the laboratory is just a pretext to prove to you all that all those burettes we often have on our minds, that we don't need them at all, and what we have at hand in the kitchen is enough to carry out such a test.
I see we have three objects here. So we have a cup, we have a saucer, and we have a kettle. Do you mean to tell me that these are the three things we need for the experiment?
This is absolutely all you need. And now yes, we need hot water so that the water vapor can pass through the laminate, so that we can check if it is vapor permeable, so thank you for putting the kettle on.
I've put the kettle on.
We need a cup to pour hot water into it, and we need, mind you, a dry saucer to see if the water vapor has passed through the material and if it has condensed. Because if it has condensed, it means the water vapor has passed through and the material is vapor permeable.
Okay, so we still need the product.
Just for the record, I wanted to point out that in one of the episodes, we tested vapor permeability directly on the body with these gloves. One vapor permeable, the other foil. Remember?
Yes, I remember, and I don't want the blue one anymore for sure.
Just a reminder, even though we know you can't test it because you don't have those gloves, but you have every different type of diaper on hand, and you can test whether they are vapor permeable or not. We've prepared for you here, of course, all-in-one diapers made by Seni. Please note that they are covered with one material over their entire surface. The entire insulation layer is a vapor-permeable laminate. Therefore, if we test the vapor permeability, we do not need to test this vapor permeability in the middle part, but we will test it on the wing. If we had a product with non-woven wings, because such products also happen, then whilst testing the vapor permeability, we obviously wouldn't be testing on the non-woven fabric, because it breathes similarly to even our clothing. However, we would then have to place it in the middle section. It won't make much difference, but we would have to wait a bit longer.
Well, yes, because here's the thicker part.
I will now ask you to pour hot water into the cup.
Good. Tell me about how much to pour.
Preferably about 3/4, so the water doesn't get too cold too quickly. You can already see when pouring how the steam rises above the cup, and this is exactly the effect we need. We have the steam and we have the saucer. And now this saucer of ours should be dry. I have a dry saucer. I have a towel specially prepared here to show you that indeed the saucer is 100% dry.
Indeed, there is not a single drop of water. Does it matter which side we cover?
It doesn't matter, although to see how it works on the body, let's cover it so that the outer layer is on the top and the one that touches the body is on the inside.
So the way it works physiologically, right? In normal use.
Exactly right. And we'll put a saucer on that. I will still leave the towel for later use.
How long do we need to wait?
We need about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. The longer you wait, if you do it at home, the more effect you will get, the better a chance to see whether the product is vapor permeable or not.
Just more water vapor will pass through the product.
That's right. Also, for those 5 minutes, if you do these tests at home, for those 5 minutes you can do your favorite activities. Wait and come back to this product, see if the steam came through or not, and the test is over. And in the meantime, here with Alina, I will talk about the vapor-permeable laminate, because I would still like to explain to you how it actually works. The vapor-permeable laminate itself is made up of 2 layers, a vapor-permeable film and a non-woven fabric.
Well, yes, virtually always a laminate is a combination of a minimum of 2 materials.
Exactly. But this vapor permeability is achieved first of all by this film, which is very fine and contains micropores of 2 microns in it.
So it has tiny microholes, but they are not really visible to the naked eye.
That's exactly right. Going further, just as with the naked eye, we cannot really see a single molecule of water vapor, which is the size of 4/10,000ths of a micron. The question is why water vapor in the gas form passes through and in the liquid form doesn't. The answer is very simple. Because as a gas, water molecules are free. They move freely, they are independent.
So they're kind of smaller, right?
They are devoid of strong hydrogen bonds. In its liquid form, as in a kettle, for example, water binds to itself, which means that strong hydrogen bonds make the structure of water so compact that in a certain sense, not literally, but in a certain sense, we can speak of a particle size of 200. Even of up to 2,500 microns. And this gives us the effect that if urine or water falls into the diaper won't leak at that moment because it can't go through these little micropores.
That is, the micropores are large enough to let the water vapor molecules through, but small enough that all the moisture that is in the product stays inside the product, and we can be sure that the product is not leaking.
That's exactly right. And now, what do we need it for? We mainly need the above to dissipate heat from our bodies. As we sweat, we start to evaporate. If this excess heat is dissipated and suddenly hidden under a kind of greenhouse,
it simply gets steamy.
It gets steamy, hot, an environment for bacteria to grow, etc. The skin starts to chafe. This leads to maceration of the skin, etc., etc. Therefore, it's very important to use products which are actually vapor-permeable.
Okay, let's see how much time has passed. Can we see already?
About 3 minutes have passed. I think we can safely show it to you here. I ask you to pick up the saucer and let's see if the steam has passed through.
Attention, attention. Let's see. Everything will be clear in a moment. Indeed, steam has settled on the saucer. The saucer is wet.
And now, to show it even better, let's see how our handkerchief behaves. And pay attention.
Very much steam indeed. This handkerchief is very wet.
That's exactly right. You have acknowledged here subjectively that there is quite a lot of this water vapor here.
I think so.
I would also agree with this. However, it is indeed difficult to say how much water vapor can pass through if a product is vapor permeable. Therefore, we can only judge subjectively if you would like to compare 2 different products, and then we can see and judge subjectively whether one product let more water vapor through and the other less. Unfortunately, we cannot, as in the case of the mini laboratory, check the specific value of how many grams of water have passed through a given material surface in 24 hours.
Good. That is, if we want, we can simply check 2 products and see which saucer contains more and which one contains less water. All right, today we have shown you how you can easily test the vapor permeability of products. We encourage you to do these kinds of experiments. Check the manufacturer's declarations, check the quality of the products, and choose those of the highest quality.
We checked Seni for you today. Now it's time for you to check it at home.